I've unboxed many products, from cheapo earbuds to £1,000 flagships. You start to see patterns, the corners they cut, a flimsy box, a cheap twist tie instead of a Velcro strap, a thin plastic bag that just screams mass-produced. It's all those little things that tell you where a company really put their money. And then you get something like these. They are, of course, the Audioengine A2 Pluses, which cost around £250. Welcome to BeezWorld. Let's unbox them and see what's inside. Looks like we get two pouches made of material, which is really nice. This one feels like the power supply, and this feels like the cables that are going to connect the speakers together. Packaging alone, these win hands down. Most companies, even the good ones, will just toss these in a plastic bag or a cardboard divider. This is different. It screams, hear me out, before you've even seen the speakers. Inside their dedicated pouch is some more protection. Calm down. That's so beautiful. I can't lie, this has been the most unique unboxing experience ever. What am I going to use these for now? Okay, so we've got a power brick, a power cord, a USB cable, a standard 3.5mm audio cable, and the speaker wire to connect the two speakers. We'll talk more about these in a bit, but again, the presentation is just impeccable. First thing that hits you isn't the look, it's the weight. For how small these things are, they are surprisingly dense. They feel substantial. I haven't even plugged them in yet, and this unboxing experience is already in the top 1% of anything I've opened. The sheer attention to detail is next level. I went with the high gloss white finish, and it really is a beautiful speaker. It's not just white paint, it has the silky, almost wet look gloss you'd expect to find on expensive furniture or maybe a piano. The cabinets are hand finished MDF wood, and the edges are perfectly rounded. That's not just for looks either. It helps reduce sound diffraction, which is a nice acoustic touch. Up front we've got the drivers, and there are no grills, which I love. It's a confident studio monitor kind of look. There's a 3/4 inch silk dome tweeter up top and a 2.75 inch fibre woofer below. Aramid fibre is the same stuff used in Kevlar, and its strength means the woofer can move like crazy without deforming, which is key for clear sound. These speakers come close to audiophile grade. Down at the bottom is the bass port. Now this is interesting. Instead of a normal circle, it's a narrow horizontal slot, and it's there to help get more low-end performance out of this tiny cabinet. Now if I'm going to be hypercritical, and at this price point, I have to be looking directly at that slot. The inner MDF surface is a little rough and unfinished for my liking. It's a tiny detail, something you would never ever notice unless you were hunting for it. But it's the first tiny crack in this otherwise flawless, luxurious speaker. Is the illusion breaking? Probably not, but it's worth noting. On the back of the left speaker, that's the active one with the amplifier, we have all our connections and the solid feeling volume knob that doubles as the power switch. Everything here feels high quality, from the speaker wire ports to the RCA ports. So my initial verdict on the build quality, it's exceptional. The speakers themselves absolutely carry on the story that the packaging started. They feel and look like a high-end piece of audio gear. So far, the product is matching the promise. Alright, let's talk about the practical stuff. Setup and features. A product can look and feel like £1 million, but if it's a pain to actually use, what's the point? Luckily, setting these up is dead simple. You take the speaker wire and connect the left powered speaker to the right passive one. The ports are solid and easy to use. Then you plug in the power and connect your music source. And you have a lot of options here. This is a huge win for the A2 Plus. You've got your standard 3.5mm jack and a stereo input. And that means you can connect it to pretty much anything with an analog output, your phone, a tablet, even a turntable. But the modern stuff is where it really shines. It has Bluetooth 5 with aptX, so you can stream high quality audio wirelessly, and pairing is super fast. More importantly, it has a USB audio input. This is a big deal. When you connect this to your computer via USB, you're completely bypassing computers' often noisy, low-quality internal sound card. The A2 Plus has its own built-in digital analog converter, or DAC, that handles everything. It's basically a high-quality external sound card and speaker all in one. For a desktop setup, this is the way to go. One quick note on the cables. The included speaker wire is about 6.5 feet, and the USB and audio cables are about 5 feet. For most desks, that's absolutely fine. But if you have a huge standing desk or want the speakers really far apart, you may need to buy a longer speaker wire. Now for the key omission. To get the best sound, you really want these angled up towards your ears, especially on a desk. It stops sound from bouncing off the desk surface and getting muddy. Audioengine sells separate desktop stands for this, the DS1, but they don't come in the box. At around £30, it's not a deal breaker, but at this price point, it feels like something that could have been included. It's a small gripe, but you should probably factor that extra cost in. So feature-wise, they're versatile and a breeze to set up. The built-in DAC via USB is a killer feature for anyone at a computer. Now it's time for the most important part, the moment of truth. We've established that the unboxing is incredibly luxurious. We've confirmed the build quality is impeccable. The features are solid. But all of that is just the opening act. How do they actually sound? Is this where the whole story falls apart? Let's find out.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Like nothing I found, my mind overwhelms. I think that I'm broken, but I hope you can't help. I know I'm not perfect, but some days I feel more worthless. Baby, you make me feel nervous. If I still have you, I have purpose. It's all worth it.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
No fun with this, bubble up in a brand new whip. You gon' try me, that's real stupid. Go all out, it's all I do, babe. No fun with this, bubble up in a brand new whip. You gon' try me, that's real stupid. Go all out, it's all I do, babe. No fun with this, bubble up in a brand new whip. You gon' try me, that's real stupid. Go all out, it's all I do, babe. No fun with this, bubble up in a brand new whip. You gon' try me, that's real stupid. Go all out, it's all I do, babe. I got no fun with this.
to create a song.
I've been listening to the Audioengine A2 Pluses for roughly a week, throwing many of my favourite genres of music at them, from classical to complex electronic music, as well as my all-time favourite, metalcore. My first impression? The sound is balanced, detailed and impressively clear. It shines with music where nuance and texture really matter. For movies and gaming, they're good, though dialogue can sometimes sound a little less expansive than the music performance. And they get surprisingly loud for their size, easily filling a room or medium-sized room, though they can get a little strained if you push them to their absolute limit. The defining word for the Audioengine A2 Plus is clarity. For their size, they create a surprisingly wide and detailed stereo image. When you're sitting in that sweet spot at your desk, the sound doesn't just come from two little boxes, it creates a soundstage that feels like it extends past the speakers themselves. It's a really immersive near-field listening experience. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room with any small speaker. You can't defy physics. A 2.75-inch woofer is not going to shake the room or give you that deep, chest-thumping rumble. If you're a basshead who primarily listens to hip-hop or EDM and you want that powerful, visceral slam, these speakers alone are not going to do it for you. However, that doesn't mean these are a total write-off. They do offer the ability to buy a dedicated subwoofer, like their S6 or S8 models. In upgrading to a dedicated subwoofer, though pricey, it'll definitely open up the soundstage completely. These speakers are for the person who values detail. They're for the creator, the music lover, the person who spends hours at their desk and wants their setup to look, feel and sound a class above. But are they for everyone? If you're on a tight budget, there are cheaper speaker options. If your number one priority is earth-shattering bass, for movies and games, you'll either need to buy that separate woofer or potentially look at a bigger 2.1 system from the get-go. Let me know down in the comments what you're using. Are you rocking the built-in computer speakers, a gaming headset, or do you have a dedicated setup? As always, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, a like and a subscribe would be amazing. I'll see you in the next one.